Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. The movie begins in 2139, Earth has become an uninhabitable wasteland, and the majority of humanity resides in huge megacities, where the justice system has been replaced by judges, who combat crime, being the police, judge, jury, and executioner all in one. Fergie, a man returning to Mega City 1 after serving a 6-month term in the Aspen colony, takes a shuttle to the Heavenly Havens, a city with flying cars for transportation. The shuttle arrives on the street where his flat used to be, but he finds gang riots, shootings, homicides, and other horrific crimes. He returns to his former apartment, only to discover that it has been taken over by gangsters. The opposing gang members shoot at them from the other side of the building, generating even more chaos on the street. Explosions and fire spread on the street as the violence continues, alerting authorities. First-year Judge Barbara Hershey and rookie Briscoe arrive at the scene, to arrest the gangs and halt any more damage from the street. Hershey recognizes that the number of enemies is vast, and will be difficult to manage, so she decides to summon more judges to assist them. Judge Dredd, one of the most dedicated street judges, receives a radio signal from Judge Hershey, requesting assistance in apprehending the gangs causing havoc. Dredd uses his helmet speech amplifier to summon the gang members, but they react with gunfire, that misses him. The two judges and rookie prepare a plan to arrest the gangs, and if they insist on shooting, the judges will shoot them without hesitation. Dredd leads the team as they climb the apartment. Meanwhile, one of the gang members kidnaps Fergie, and forces him to replenish their ammunition. He then uses an android delivery van that he hacks, hides inside, and controls to avoid being hit by gunshots. Dredd blows a hole in the ceiling, blasting the members of the gang. Hershey and Briscoe arrive after he dispatches the adversary in that room. Briscoe acts on his own, hoping to please Dredd and Hershey, and opens the door to the adjacent room, leading to several more gang members, and shoots one of them without hesitation. Dredd and Hershey shoot the remaining gang members. The enemy grabs the fallen gun of Briscoe, and dies as the gun needs the DNA of a judge. Dredd shoots the final gang member, who tries to shoot him, while glancing back at Hershey. As Hershey recovers Briscoe's body, Dredd tries to soothe her, but fails because he is emotionless, but he observes the robot delivering food, and commands it to stop. He commands it to cease by the end of 5 minutes, and begins counting down. Fergie opens the latch before reaching 1, and thanks them for putting an end to the gang conflict at the apartment. Dredd, on the other hand, arrests him for unlawfully hacking the android, and tells him that he should have just leapt off the building, which is legal, but may damage him. Fergie claims to be innocent, but Dredd refuses to listen until the authorities arrest him. Later that night, the Board of Judges holds a meeting to discuss the rising crime rate in the city, and brainstorm solutions to the city's problems. Judge Griffin advocates employing greater force to reduce crime, but Judge Fargo explains that there must be a more peaceful way to reduce crime, rather than instilling fear in the people. Following their meeting, Judge Fargo questions Dredd about the recent deaths of gang members, to which he responds that it was unavoidable. Fargo asks him to teach the new cadets ethics, knowing that Dredd is well known among them. His advice will help them enhance their ethics, as they advance in their careers as judges. The next day at the Aspen Penal Colony, Warden Miller examines the cell of a highly secured criminal, Rico, armed with voice-activated firearms and cameras. He hands him a little object from an unidentified sender, containing a duplicate of his badge, and a photograph of Vardis Hammond, a reporter. Rico unexpectedly opens a concealed section in the box, transforming it into a small weapon, that he uses to shoot Miller through the throat, disarming his voice. Miller fails to activate Rico's cell's guns and camera, murdering him since security does not recognize him. The guards breach the security to gain entry, and discover Warden Miller dead, and Rico strikes the guard and shoots the remaining guards to flee. Returning to the academy, Dredd instills in his students the importance of ideals, that will guide them while they wield weapons as judges. Hershey advises him to be more emotional with the students, and questions whether he has any friends with a similar mentality. He responds that he has a friend in the academy, but he arrested him for a crime committed in the past. Later that day, Rico hides in a body bag, waiting for the right moment to escape from the prison. He shoots one of Mega City's waste disposals to hide in plain sight. He visits a pawn shop to get a package containing the judge's gun for him. The owner advises him not to touch it, because if he is not a judge, it will kill him. He, on the other hand, can activate the weapon and shoot the owner. He finds a large combat robot in the shop, and reactivates it, designating it as his walking weapon. On the same night, a guard dressed as Dredd murders Vardis Hammond's family, framing the real Dredd. The next day, with video evidence in hand, the troops arrest Dredd for murdering the family. Hershey, who specializes in law, is his acting witness and lawyer. She implies that Dredd is incapable of committing that crime, and that the footage cannot show that the judge in the video is him. It cannot, however, disguise the firearm and ammo with his DNA, proving him guilty and sentencing him to death. Judge Griffin offers that Judge Fargo resign, in order to rescue both Dredd and the Janus Project's secrets. Judge Fargo agrees to resign, but before he does, he asks the Justice Council to reduce Dredd's death sentence, and send him to the Aspen Penal Colony for life. The council agrees, Fargo leaves Mega City honorably, and Griffin becomes the next Chief Justice. The next day, a shuttle brings Dredd to Aspen, and Fergie is sitting next to him. They disagree over how Dredd wrongfully arrested Fergie in the past. Dredd asserts that the law never makes mistakes. Fergie questions Dredd about how the judge became one of the guilty. After some time, the Angel family launches a rocket at the shuttle. The shuttle's 2 pilots are struck by gunshots during the turmoil. Dredd and Fergie, the only survivors of the disaster, are apprehended by the Angel family. They take both to their lair for interrogation and cooking, as the Angel family appears to be cannibals. Fergie pleads that he is a believer in the Angel cult, but Dredd warns Fergie that they are cannibals, and will eat him for their ritual. Dredd escapes and attempts to defeat them alone, but Chief Griffin's search team comes to apprehend Dredd. Judge Fargo shoots them in the rear, catching Dredd off guard. This leaves the Mean Machine, a member of the Angel family. While speaking with Dredd, Mean Machine stabs Judge Fargo in the back. Dredd punches the Mean Machine 3 times in wrath, before killing him with an electrical shock at his nape. Dredd is concerned that he may lose his father figure as a result of the conflict. Fargo then exposes the truth. A project called Janus is responsible for the creation of 2 genetically perfect kids, who will be the judge's faces. However, one went too far and turned evil. He then discloses that it is Dredd and Rico, 2 old pals, those 2 infants. Meanwhile, at Hershey's flat, she investigates Dredd's case, but rapidly finds herself outside the security system, after discovering secret material. She contacts another worker to decode previously collected Dredd photographs. He has a photo of his family that he wants to show off to his friends and relatives. Back in Mega City, Chief Griffin and Rico cause havoc by assassinating multiple judges, in order to resurrect Project Janus, and manufacture more replicas of the flawless judges. Chief Griffin persuades the other leaders to allow Project Janus to continue, despite the fact that they are losing judges all throughout the Mega City. After receiving consent, he dispatches Rico and his assassin robot to execute the other leaders, as Chief Griffin no longer requires them. Dredd and Fergie scout the region outside the city walls, for probable city entries. In theory, Dredd believes they can enter the city through a heat vent. Before they enter the heat vent, Fergie apologizes to Dredd for wrongfully imprisoning him. Their dialogue explains why Dredd has been so fascinated with the law in the past. He also informs Fergie that he has never apologized in his life. He races straight forward at the heat vent, while Fergie falls on his feet, but Dredd assists him, and shoots the floor to fall at the incineration chamber. They make it into the halls of justice, where Fergie draws the attention of the neighboring judges to Dredd's suit and weapon. Dredd locates the slain members of the council and Griffin after scouting, to avoid as many judges as possible. He notices Rico, but fails to stop him as he escapes behind Griffin. Griffin shoots himself in the arm, accusing Dredd of assaulting and murdering the council. As the guards approach to capture Dredd, he leaves on a prototype version of their previous vehicle, taking Fergie with him. They arrive at Hershey's house to hide after evading the authorities. Hershey threatens the invading Dredd and Fergie inside. On her way home, she explains that her motorcycle exploded, which could explain the recent judge assassinations, excluding those carried out by the killer robot Rico. Dredd tells Hershey he has a brother named Rico, and he is to blame for the current state of mayhem in Mega City. After some time, Rico persuades Hayden, the Project Janus's lead scientist, to join his cause, killing Chief Griffin with his killer robot, after interfering with his plot to take over the Project Janus himself. He then provides the clone machine with a sample of his DNA, in order for the army of judges to be cloned for his disposal. Eventually, Dredd, Fergie and Hershey arrive at the Statue of Liberty, to put an end to Rico's evil ambitions. Following a study of the area, the killer robot appears in a tight tunnel to block their way, and prevent them from progressing any farther. Hershey is grabbed by the killer robot, who then shoots Fergie. Dredd shoots the robot's second arm to save them all. The metal door suddenly opens, revealing Rico and Hayden listening to their plight. Rico threatens Dredd with the robot killing Hershey, unless he lowers the gun and follows him inside through the other side of the door. Rico argues that they may be the new rulers of Mega City, if he can give up the idea of first respecting the law. He offers Dredd the position of head of the council that controls the clones, which he declines, because he still wants to bring justice and fix things. Rico instructs the system to display Dredd the process of making clones at the facility, and the containers contain clones that are nearing completion. Dredd and Rico begin a debate about the clones' betrayal of their race. Rico questions why he has previously arrested him for such actions. Dredd suggests that Rico broke the law and killed innocent people, which is why he was arrested. It is the only way to prevent him from committing further crimes. Rico delivers a diatribe about how Dredd should follow him, because they are family, and family should always be there for each other no matter what. Yet, Dredd believes that the only way to die is to join him in commanding an army of clones, who lack free will. After hearing his decision, Rico orders the system to open the metal door, and show how his killer robot can kill Hershey. But the killer robot drops her, and accidentally hits Rico in the face, causing him to faint for a short period of time. As it turns out, despite his disability, Fergie is disabling the cables on the robots from the back, giving Dredd plenty of time to collect his gun and shoot Rico. Rico awakens and hurries to the exit, attempting to flee once more, and he instructs the system to release the first batch of clones, to slow down Dredd. Following some heavy pursuit, Dredd and Rico engage in a fist brawl after knocking down their weapons. Meanwhile, Hayden battles Hershey to keep them occupied, while the clones slowly emerge from their containers. The scene ends with the facility crumbling, and Rico climbing the stairs to lose Dredd. Dredd follows him, and drags him out of his vehicle. After they exchange punches, Rico ultimately corners Dredd, and hangs him above the city, informing him that his punishment for betraying his flesh and brothers in the past and now is death. Dredd creates a distraction by triggering the gun Rico is holding. As a result, his weapon fires a flare. He then pulls Rico over the edge, where he dies. Hershey locates Dredd, and saves him. After pulling him up, she informs that he owes her 3 more times for this much assistance. As they depart the building, the public and the remaining judges applaud, and hail Dredd as a hero. A judge approaches Dredd, and asks whether he wants to be Chief Justice. But he refuses, stating that he would continue to serve as a regular judge, and patrol Mega City. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Turn on the notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out.